Hi, this is Dr. Hudak. Welcome you to Tech Tuesday on fillers. Fillers are used in areas of the face generally from about here on down. And what we do with them is we kind of pop out a dent, if you will. And the way we do it with the filler, this hyaluronic acid, an ingredient which is natural to certain things in our body, like the jelly in the back of our eye and in certain spaces of our synovial sacs between joints. What those materials do is they take on water like a sponge and they swell. For which reason, when we inject a filler, Restylane, Juvederm, Belotero, it is going to right away take on some water, and we're going to see some immediate improvement in that area that needed to pop out the dent, the furrow, or be made a little fuller. It will take on more water just like a sponge does given time, so the areas tend to look better still about 3 hours after they were injected, and yet better 1 to 2 weeks later as they start to integrate with the tissues. The amount of swelling of the tissue and the softness or stiffness is very much tied in with a way that we grade our different types of hyaluronics, and that's what we call our G prime. The G prime you can think of as a stiffness factor. If we took a Restylane or we took a Juvederm Ultra and we pushed it out of the syringe onto a flat top, it would come out like a peppermint patty. If we took Restylane Silk or regular Juvederm and pushed it out of the syringe onto that same countertop, it would come out more like a thin wafer. Think of a Moravian wafer. If we took instead a Voluma from the Juvederm people, Allergan, or Restylane Lift by Galderma, what we would instead see when we pushed it out onto the contents of the syringe onto the countertop would look more like a Hershey Kiss. Obviously, you don't want something that stiff in your lips. If you have very, very deep furrows here, you would want a thicker, higher G prime product. If you have moderate lines, you're going to want the Juvederm Ultra XC or the Restylane L. If you have real fine lines, you're going to want the Silk or regular Juvederm. For most lips, you're going to want the Juvederm Ultra or the Restylane L. So therefore you see we have to customize it to what you want. Where people have a lot of movement, they actually may want a define or refine. Those are products that have a greater elastic property to them than the other fillers. Hopefully that gives you a good feel for this. There are other products out there called volumizers that sometimes we can improve these other lines and have a better longevity than the 8 to 12 months or 6 to 8 months, depending on which product is being used in you. And so we can talk a little bit more about that in a session we do on volumizers. Have a great day, and please see us at All About Aesthetics.